Will Bitcoin reach $1 million next year, or is someone going to kill the king? That's right, it's time for some 2022 predictions, and on this episode, it's all about crypto. You know, I almost feel like before you can even talk about crypto, you got to kind of talk about what's going on in the world. You see, we have a depreciation of democracies and an appreciation of authoritarian governments. What this means is they're not going to like crypto. So we could see this battlefield occur. At the same time, we also have new regulation coming into the first quarter, which means a lot of these coins that kind of seem a bit more scammy, where you don't really know what's going on, they're going to donate this and that to charity, and it's like, what's going on here? Wasn't this supposed to be a business? What's going on? And so these are probably going to get smashed. They're going to go bye-bye. With this new regulation coming in, we're going to see a lot of coins disappear and a lot of the scammers get crushed. So we're going to have that battle. That money is probably going to find new homes in cryptos that are valid, that have companies that are being built. But then they also have to contend with rising interest rates. So then it's also hard to keep the staff. You have to hire a bunch of people to get the startup running, and then boom, suddenly wages are increasing and money's getting more expensive and more tight, and you got a whole new battlefield to play with. We've entered the new realm. We know what's going on. Speculation is now going to turn into appreciation and forward-looking growth, which means that a lot of these are going to be in danger. See, what's going to occur when most of these smaller coins get knocked out of the market is the rest of the players that remain are going to be more complex. It's going to be harder to differentiate what will succeed in the future and what will likely fail, especially since most of these companies are making no money whatsoever. And those that are making money are the participants or the founders that create the coins, or the participants who buy and hold. Very few traders actually make money in the crypto markets. Most of the people making money are the people that are buying, holding, and staking. Why? Because when the traders come in, they provide extra volume, which means more fees, which means the hodlers actually are the ones that get all the benefits, because then they get higher APYs. And this is the relationship that most of the staking coins have. So when we're thinking about what is going to survive and in what sectors are these going to grow, because you have to remember there's subsets. Each of these coins is trying to solve a different problem, at least the ones that aren't scams. But we don't need to talk about those because those are going to go bye-bye. We're going to instead talk about what I think is here and now and what's getting the most adoption. And of course, when we're talking about adoption, it's hard to not mention Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still the number one player. He's still the king of the castle. I don't predict Bitcoin to be dethroned. There's just too much adoption, too much institutional interest. Even banks are now buying it. They're going to defend that asset. That's the asset they love. They won't support any other one until they've already bought it and reallocated out of Bitcoin. So you'll hear that in hindsight. They're not gonna do anything that would give you any future indication that they're gonna change their asset allocation. All right. So I think Bitcoin's here, and it's going to stay here into next year. I think near the end of next year, that conversation could develop, and different coins like Hex could be more of the conversation, but I think we're far away still from that occurring. Ethereum is another contender you get to think about. Tons of adoption, over 24 million developers work on the Ethereum blockchain. However, this is becoming a lot of noise. And so when I'm looking at this, I want to see who is solving problems that companies are solving right now, but just better. And the top names that come to my mind when I think about that are the ones that are focusing on application transactions. So I'm thinking about XRP, I'm thinking about REQ, I'm thinking about the Mirror Protocol. These, I think, will be the most dominant coins coming into 2022 in this subsection of crypto. And on top of that, the next section of crypto that I expect to do well is all the coins that are based around storage. Cloud storage is one of the fastest growing industries right now. Right now, we also have a supply shortage. Makes it hard for people to store up on different computer gear and things that they want related to crypto. However, these are getting fixed, and pretty rapidly too. Actually, there's some expectation they could be fixed early on next year. So even though we might not see prices come down, because prices are often sticky, we could see that supply come back, and we could see more people be able to get access to computers. As they're able to mine more coins, they're also able to access some of these different applications that exist here and now. Coins like Filecoin allow people to use the extra storage on their PC to loan it out to other people so that they don't have to use institutional forms of storage. This is another type of adoption and application that's here and now, and I expect to start to explode. these coins in particular, this subset, when it comes to transactions and when it comes to storage, I think will outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum heading into 2022. And before we talk about Ethereum, we also have to talk about the energy crisis. Remember, activity is what you want on the blockchain. You want adoption, you want people actually using it. The energy crisis gives us this new environment that is rapidly developing, as it requires more and more energy to mine coins or to even operate the blockchains, whether you're transacting the NFTs or you're just trying to move money different places. These are going to get more and more expensive. Gas prices going up are going to lower trading volume, which I expect to hit us in the early part of next year. Now, as the year continues, I expect a nice rebound out of this. I expect a huge new curve, especially with a lot of the coins being killed off. And I actually predict that things are never really as good or bad as people say they are. So I actually think that we'll get just enough pressure in the energy sector to actually cause just a lack of supply, but a continued demand. And I expect us to hit a super cycle actually heading into the beginning of next year. And a lot of that I also expect to be driven by the fact that a lot of institutions sold their profits. They're going to look at reallocating, and they're probably going to pick their best performing asset of last year. Nothing outperformed crypto. Crypto did amazing, especially if you're diversified out to the tail end of the coins that outperform Bitcoin. You know, we've even seen some smaller coins like ADA outperform Bitcoin in the long term, even in the bearish markets, which you wouldn't normally see. You would usually just see the big players hold the most value. So we're also starting to see that disconnect. Hopefully, we'll also see a disconnect from the S&P, because Bitcoin's been a little bit of a baby holding hands with the S&P as the S&P trails it along. So if we start to see that and we hit this super cycle, we get this energy pressure, we could see a lot of appreciation in cryptos. I'm still very bullish on cryptos. I almost think in a lot of cases they're better purchases than stocks, although we'll talk about that more in the next 2022 prediction video. So remember, I think the two subsets will do well, whether it comes to transactions or when it comes to cloud storage. I do expect lots of volatility, lots of political conversations. Remember, it is possible to crash a blockchain, but it's very expensive. I don't expect this in 2022, but I will be keeping an eye on that, especially I think in 2024, 2025, when quantum computing starts picking up, then we can start talking about that conversation. Right now, I don't think it needs to be part of our narrative or what we're looking at, but we could see some more pressures. We could see some more bans. We could even see governments start going after people. So keep that in mind. And I also expect the transactions to continue and also start to see more players come after Ethereum's throne as well. Now, the one thing I can tell you, without a doubt, that will be true, is it's going to be volatile. It's going to be very, very volatile. It's going to get harder and harder to trade as the environment becomes more and more complex. And I will not trade cryptos. I'm going to buy and hold the coins I like, and I'm going to maybe quarterly look at my allocations and how they're doing. Otherwise, you're likely to just get burned. You could be on up, you could be reading technical analysis, then boom, Russia's jailing people that own Bitcoin. These are the type of events that I expect to occur. I also expect lots of positives. I expect more countries to look at using crypto, not just El Salvador. And so we're going to get these swingy headlines. We're also going to get this new reallocation of funds from companies getting destroyed in Q1. And it's going to be exciting. We're going to learn lots. And I expect there will also still be a lot of new coins that still get built. And maybe even more corporations that exist today will start looking into the environment. And simultaneously, as the metaverse and Web3 start to build as well, I expect all of this to be bullish for the market, even if we see some turmoil. So go ahead down in the comments, let me know what you think. Am I right on the mark? Am I way off? What are your predictions for 2022? And remember, at the end of the year, we'll also do a recap video, figure out how much of a doofus I am or how I'm an absolute genius, a gift from God. Okay, we can let that go. So remember, we're going to do future episodes. We got 2 more prediction episodes coming back. The next one will have a special guest. So I'm super excited about it. And remember, next year, we're going to start doing podcast interviews. And I'm super pumped about those. We got some awesome guests. And you might be surprised who we were able to round up on the show. So look forward to those. Go ahead, subscribe. Please click like. And join the Discord. We give live market commentary every single day. I know you'll love the community, and we'd love to have you there as well. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the next episode. you.